Welcome, welcome, race fans. Ron with Bigg Wizurd TV here. We have tonight for your entertainment. That's weird. Does that mean I'm not live, primary, and backup streams correctly? Well, I don't know how to do that. Welcome, race fans. YouTube is giving me garbage again, as per usual. We've got a race for you tonight. This is season 1 grand finale at Spa-Francorchamps. This is it. This is the last one. All the marbles on the line here tonight. And this is going to be interesting. Let me tell you what's going on. Let's review. Let's go over it. And let me tell you, first, big shout out to Procraft. Procraft, where they build world-class recording studios, design the studios. They are top-notch. They're the best. Integrated audio-visual systems. They do government contracts all the way down to small business customers. They help with IT needs. They have the supply chain where they work from just anything you need, whether it's speakers or multi-tools or coffee, anything you need to make your shop run. If you're a video production shop, these guys have what you need. Procraft. Procraftsupply.com. Check them out. They are our sponsors for this series. The series is Procraft Formula One. Season 1 has been exciting. Christian Bishop with 5 race wins. Currently in 3rd in the championship. This is what I want to tell you about right here. This is the good stuff. Morgan Teggy, 284 points. It seems like an insurmountable lead. 2 wins, 8 podiums. Morgan has been on a roll, but guess what? He's not here tonight. He is not on track. And Morgan has a 31-point lead over 3rd place Christian Bishop. Now, Chris Springer is 4 points ahead of Christian. So, without Morgan here, the race winner takes 31 or 32 points. I'd have to go find it to get the actual thing, and of course, don't have that website open. But either one of these guys wins the race tonight, they win the championship ahead of Morgan. But the battle now is between Chris and Christian tonight for this championship. This is going to be good. Again, this is Ron with Bigg Wizurd TV. We're coming at you live. We've got Procraft Formula One racing for you at Spa-Francorchamps. One of the most favorite, well-known, probably awe-inspiring racetracks. When you think of racing in Europe, you think of Spa-Francorchamps. You just do. That is where it happens. Let's go up here and take a look at the track. That right there is Eau Rouge and Radion. It's 4.3 miles. It's one of the longest tracks. I think it is the longest track on the F1 circuit. 2018 lap record, 1:46. We're going to be seeing those times tonight. Elevation change. Did I make this repeat? I did. There's a lot of elevation change, a lot of up and downhill, a lot of off-camber corners. Sector 1 alone is insane. Flat out up Eau Rouge, over Radion. It's insane. It's awesome to do. It's even more awesome to watch. And then all the way up the hill to Les Combes at the end of the long straight. Those guys are going close to 200 miles an hour when they reach the end of that long section, Sector 1 straight, and jump into Sector 2. DRS zone right along the pit straight on the start-finish line, right exiting turn 19, which is the chicane. You know, the turns here are well known. Everybody knows these turns. I mean, Pujon, which is in Sector 2 there, it's that big left-hand sweeper. How many times have we spun? How many times we watch people spin? You get going too fast, the back end comes around, away you go into the wall, the race is over. We do have healing damage, so we don't have to race over, but it definitely is one of the most iconic racetracks in the world. Spa-Francorchamps. This is where we're at. We do have the 3 tire compounds. I did not get my tire compound video made for you guys tonight. I'm huge apologies there. I had to rebuild my entire OBS streaming setup. As you remember last time, I was locking up like every 20 minutes or so. The system would lock up, so I had to rebuild everything, gut all the system, reconnect it to YouTube, and looks like I got it fixed. We'll find out, right? But I've been able to do the GT4 race tonight with East to West Racing, as well as the GT3 race on Sunday. So super glad to have you guys. If you want to send me a shout out in the chat, I got you open. I can see what's going on as we'll watch them go through practice. They still have about 20 minutes of practice, which gives us time to review what's going on. Not only do we have a tight race in the championship for the drivers, Morgan Teggy still currently out front by 27 points over Chris Springer. 284 to 257. 253 with Christian Bishop. Now the next guy back, Adam Novotny, with 1 podium. Adam has also had a pole position and is extremely fast. He's out here tonight. He's in P6 in the timing charts. Christian Bishop has definitely put in his practice times. He is currently on the top of the charts, as you can see on the standings. On the top right of the screen, you can see Christian, his name boldly displayed at the top. Whoa, as we watch Bob Wallace go off. Bonk. Hits the wall. Philip Scott, new to the league, not new to iRacing. I've raced with Philip for years in different leagues, different kinds of cars. One of the greats, Philip Scott, great driver. He is currently in 2nd spot, 2/10 back off of Christian's best time. Brandon Dooley, Bob Wallace, Vincent Tramontana, Adam Novotny, Chris Springer, Ed Smith, Skylar Vickery, Theo Bishop, Todd Schwartz, Kelly Bishop just getting into the session. 12 drivers out on the track so far. We've got, like I said, about 20 minutes left in the practice session. Not only do we have driver championship on the line tonight in multiple ways, but we also have the Constructors Championship. Now, Rust Belt Racing is Adam Novotny and Morgan Teggy. Morgan's not here. Now, the points. Space Sheep Racing with 446 in 2nd place. Rust Belt Racing 478. So, this makes Kelly Bishop's run extremely important because they're 33 points back. I should find out how many points you get for a win. I think it's 33. But you know, the website is awesome. It's well designed. Wait, I can't find anything there. So let me find it. Let me find out. All I got to do is find a former race standings page. So if I can get some details here from the standings, I'll find out how many points you get for a single race win. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's enough that if Christian comes in first and Adam does not pull his weight and he runs about equal with Kelly Bishop, then Christian's going to have this. Him and his brother at Space Sheep Racing are going to have it. But don't count that to be the only way to win. Harry Llama Racing is only 2 points behind. Only 2 points behind Space Sheep Racing in the Constructors Championship. And Harry Llama has 2 powerhouse drivers out here tonight, both of which are on track. That's Brandon Dooley and Chris Springer. Chris has been up front. He has 6 podiums. He's 2nd in the championship. Brandon has a win, 2 podiums total. He's 6th in the points. You know, these guys are all kinds of competitive. So let me find. I gotta find a race. I got all kinds of stuff, but no actual race results. Race results archive. Here we go. Website's awesome, like I said. I want season standings. Events. Here we go. August 19th, Jose Carlos Pace, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's see if we can get the results there. And I'll find out exactly how many points these guys are going to get. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Come on, website. There we go. Okay, driver. Finish position. Laps completed. Points. Net race. Okay, race points. Race points is 33 for a win. 30 for second. 27 for third. So, 3 points separates a win from second place. Currently in the standings, if they finish 1-2 with Christian ahead of Chris, Chris will win the championship by 1 point. But there are bonus points. You do get a completion bonus. You get a point for pole position. And there's also a safety bonus, but I don't see what those are. Unless it tells me over here. No, it doesn't tell me what they are. You do get fastest lap, pole position, safety bonus, and completion bonus. Anybody that finishes the race is going to have completion bonus. And fastest lap has been gotten many times by Chris Springer. So if he can pull off some laps, it looks like he's a little down on power or something tonight because he's not running in those 146s. He's usually right there with him, but not tonight. His teammate Brandon's got it really close. He's in P3, but we'll see how that plays out. That is definitely going to be a factor tonight. But 33 points when the difference between the third and first in the championship is 31 with Morgan missing the race. So Morgan will probably not, unless Christian comes in second, which would kill him. I guess that'll be 30 points. And he needs at least 31 to tie. And if he gets the win, that's 33. So we'll see how it goes. He does have 5 victories so far this season. We'll see how he fares. We won't know until the race is over. This one tonight. Let's see. Belgian Grand Prix, 22 laps. 22 laps. Now we do have the tire compounds. Let me get my overlays set correctly so we can see what's going on. I've got some things up there that are kind of useless at the moment, so let me fix those. In the standings, driver info, you do not need to know what kind of car they're driving because they're all in the same car. This is the Mercedes W12. This is the 2021 Formula One car. Let's take a peek at this Formula One car. Mercedes W12. There it is. The Mercedes W12. It has battery boost. It has probably I don't think the new car is that fast yet. Probably without a doubt the fastest race car as far as speed and downforce that is on the planet, I would say. And I'm an IndyCar fan. Now, if you get to Indy 500 trim, obviously the IndyCar is faster at 240-ish miles an hour, 235 to 240 miles an hour. But this thing, as far as racing around a circuit, will have the fastest tires of any car out there. I think even faster than the new W13. There it is, the W12. You can't change it too much. You can change a few colors on it, but that's it. They also have the, and let me go back to make sure I get this right. I got to double check because I got this wrong last time, so let me not get it wrong tonight. They have a battery boost system in their car that you can control from the cockpit. They actually have the ability to push a button and enable different modes of this battery system. Let me get the name of the system correct because I was saying it wrong. And you know, If you're going to say something, say it right. Da, 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 da. This is the MGU-K system. MGU-K is a turbo hybrid power unit, and it allows you to get extra boost at different points of the race. So there's a couple ways they use it. The MGU-K is used during qualifying, basically flat out the whole way around. So they'll set the battery so they can use the entire amount or as much as possible on the car for the entire lap. And that will give them the most boost possible for one lap. But then juice is gone. Battery's drained. You have to recharge using the tires. So you can speed up and slow down. Brakes will do it. Speed will do it. You can recharge the battery. But not if it's in full tilt mode. There's also an attack mode. There's qualifying mode, obviously, and then there is a balanced mode. Lots of different ways you can do it. And then there's a recharge mode, which helps you recharge the battery faster. But that can be key when somebody's catching you, and maybe they have DRS, which we'll talk about here in just a second. And with DRS, they're going quicker than you down one of those long straights like the Kemmel Straight. And you need a little help. So you use your MGU-K full deploy down that straightaway and try to stay ahead of somebody with DRS. Now, DRS is the drag reduction system. And with DRS, you can lower the rear wing flap so it vanishes. It just kind of flattens out so you have no downforce on the rear wheels, which does not help in high-speed corners. So the only DRS zones are on straightaways. So there's two here at Spa-Francorchamps. If you watch the cars go around, they're about to go through. This is Blanchimont. And then they're going to hit the chicane, the famous chicane. Whoa, almost hit each other. And then right there's the detection line. You can see the line on the ground. And right there's the open line. You see the wing open? The rear wing on that car, and now the other car behind him is wide open, which means there's no downforce on the rear tires. And as they go through La Source there, which is turn one, the turn one hairpin, you need downforce, all you can get. So then they go up Eau Rouge, across Radion. They hit the detection zone again. Now, what the detection zones are the first line. Second line is open the wing, DRS line. Detection zone means during a race. Now, right now they're in practice, and in qualifying, they can use DRS whenever they want, unless it's raining, which we don't have in iRacing. But the detection zone means you have to be within 1 second of the car in front of you to be able to get that to turn on. So, and once you're in that 1 second zone, then you can flip your DRS open to give you that better boost down the front stretch. It gives you about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Let's see if we can get tire compounds on. There we go. And I think we got way too much information on there on pits. And pit info. Get that off of there. You can see it down on the bottom. On the bottom in the relative screen shows you the pit information. And that shows you the lap that they last pit on, and also the amount of time they spent in the pits. If it's flashing, they're still in there. At this point in practice, it could just be they're changing the setup, working on the car. They might be just taking a break. Lots of things going on there. So now, up on the top right, we've got the standings, which will show you the fastest lap, the tires they're using, how many laps they ran on the tires is the number inside the tire, and the color is the tire color. During qualifying, they're probably all going to run the soft tire. Soft tire is going to last about 2, maybe 3 laps at full tilt. So what they'll do is, if they have enough time, they will go around and run. They'll go around and run a few laps in qualifying trim, which means very low fuel and as lean as the setup will allow them to go, so they can go as fast as they possibly can without losing control. Use DRS, use every advantage they can get, use the MGUK, and try to get the best lap time, which you can see at the moment. Adam Novotny, who has had the pole before, jumps up to the front of the pylon with only 8 minutes to go here in the qualifying practice session. So we'll see if he can put that down again. The one thing I do have to tell you about the tire compounds, sometimes on the car it shows one tire compound, and on my chart, on my standings chart, it shows another. The standings chart is correct. For some reason, iRacing hasn't fixed the bug where they show the tire compound incorrectly on the car. Can't control it. I don't own them. I know they know about it. We'll wait for them to fix it, because, you know, that's what you do. Let's see. Driver info. I think we got everything on there we want. We got the gap between the driver in front of you. Now that is the gap current, which here in practice and in qualifying will be the gap between the lap times. Interval will show you the distance between, it'll show you the time distance between the drivers, but you're not going to see that in practice or qualifying, not during the race. But a lot of information on the right hand side there as the screen scrolls through. Try to get you as much info as possible without taking up the entire screen with information. But tire compounds, very key, very key. We'll see how they do it. I've seen start with softs, go to mediums. They run half distance, so the chances of these guys running hards, now some of them will. Some of the guys will actually run the hard compound tire if they feel that the hard compound tire gives them a better overall grip, and it lasts longer. So the hard compound tire is going to last the longest, but it's a little slower. However, I've seen drivers take that harder compound tire and run with it. So we'll see what they do tonight. Usually they start either the mediums or the softs. Now the guys that start on the softs are planning, 22 lap race, they're probably planning 7 or 8, maybe 9 laps. On the softs, switch over to the mediums and finish it off. The guys that start on the mediums are probably going to push it to maybe 12, 13, 14 laps. Switch over to the softs and finish it. Now you got to also remember, this is where the strategy comes into play. The guys that go soft tires late in the race also have a lighter car. On these Formula One cars, you cannot put fuel in the car during the race. So you're putting the fuel in at the beginning of the race. So the car is going to be the heaviest at the start of the race. So do you want the soft tires to get out front quick and try to hold your position? Or do you want the soft tires when your car is the lightest at the end of the race to try to gain more advantage over your competitor? I've seen it play this season with Procraft Formula One Series. I've seen it play out where somebody changes to softs late in the race, catches the leader, and passes. I've seen undercuts. I've seen overcuts. This series has it all. I know it's only 12 drivers, but these guys will really put on a good show. This is fun tonight. So, just about 4 minutes left in the practice session. We'll jump in and we'll do some quali laps, and we'll see how we go. We'll probably see a few drivers start popping off the racetrack. Let's go through and meet the drivers, or talk to them, or not talk to them, but tell you who they all are. If I can find my web page, if I didn't close it. I have a page somewhere that tells me that. But anyway, complete standings. Do we have drivers, teams? I know I got one of these things somewhere. Christian gave it to me. He's really cool. He gave me this list of all this stuff. But of course, I don't have it. So I'll try to find the list. Here we go. Space Sheep Racing, Christian Bishop, Kelly Bishop, number 26, number 69. Both drivers out here on track tonight. Kelly Bishop's a little bit off the pace, 5.7 seconds off of Christian, his brother's time. That could come into play if in the Constructors' Championship if we see Brandon and Chris Springer putting down good laps tonight. We have Ed. Do we have Ed? I thought we had Ed. Nope, no Ed tonight, no Josh. Chris is also MIA. Harry Llama Racing, that is Brandon Dooley in the 14. Chris Springer in the 56. The cars look nearly identical. They are in the purple and green machines. They look like this. That's Brandon. And that one's Chris. Oh, Chris isn't on the track at the moment. Thanks for messing up my cameras. Rust Belt Racing. Morgan Teggy, Adam Novotny. Cool looking tri-colored car as well. Scudiera Pecore Spaziale. That is Theo Bishop. He's out there tonight, running in the number 36 car as usual. There's Theo. His teammate not here tonight, Eric Heater Motorsports. Those guys haven't been around for a little while. Eagle Race Team, Vincent Tramontana. Now Vincent is on track tonight and running pretty quick, 7th spot. Missing his teammate though. Let's see. Bob Wallace. Hey Bob, in the 666. Off track at the moment. His teammate Skyler is actually with him tonight on track. Both of them currently not on the circuit. But they are here. They are with Zero Fox Given Racing. That's Skyler Vickery and Bob Wallace. Then we have Ed Smith running for Daewoo Racing Development. Ed currently on the top of the pylon. Probably ran a nice qualifying run there. 143.1. They've gone plaid. That's Todd Schwartz. Whoa, Todd's having an issue here. He keeps it off the wall, keeps it going. Todd in the blue and white. With some pink accents on there. And that is our driver lineup for the teams tonight. Who else we have out here? Philip Scott does not have a team. He's independent. He's going to pull off the circuit and mess up the cameras. Brett Elder's not here tonight. We've got a lot of guys that have raced a race or two that are not on track tonight. But pretty good crowd. We are finishing up the practice session here. We've got about 5 seconds to go, and then we're going to be getting into qualifying. Hey everybody, sponsor for Bigg Wizurd TV is Stair Fittings Incorporated. Stair Fittings Inc. Keeping me alive, keeping me on the air with my streaming service. Appreciate those guys. And I don't have the overlays I used to have, so I can't tell you where to find them, but it's orders.stairfittings.com. That's orders.stairfittings.com. Check them out. They have everything you need for your stairs. I mean everything. They have all the wood components. They have the brackets. They have the accessories. They have the handrails. They have the actual stairs themselves. They can make anything you can dream of. They have custom stair capabilities. They can build custom stuff. They can build just any kind of one-off ideas you have. And they're great. Customer service is top-notch. Second to none. They'll ship stuff to you. And they also have installers around the greater Salt Lake City, Utah area. But they will ship outside the area. So awesome people. Awesome people. If you want to talk to them, tell them Bigg Wizurd sent you. They'll take care of you. They'll get you everything you need, and you will be happy. You will be. They are great. They're great. Let's see. What else we got here? As the drivers do their warm-up laps. Takes a couple minutes to get around this beast. Let's see if we have a history guide here. No. Spa-Francorchamps is one of the oldest circuits in Formula One. 1920, the end of the World War, end of the First World War, they created a racetrack, and it's just been growing ever since. The European Grand Prix went to Spa in 1925. Antonio Ascari won the first European Grand Prix race in an Alfa Romeo. They changed the track in 1928 to tarmac. Imagine that. They were racing those Formula One cars on gravel. 1939, they took out Old Customs Bend and they built what has become Radion. It's more often called Eau Rouge, but it's a combination. The fast curve uphill, 17-degree incline, and it is just amazing. Amazing race, amazing circuit, amazing corners, all kinds of good stuff. 1970, they on the old track before they created the new track that they have now. The Mexican Pedro Rodriguez won the 29th and final Belgian Grand Prix organized on the long track under the leadership of champion Jackie Stewart. The F1 Drivers Association then declared Francorchamps was too dangerous and impractical. You know, Jackie Stewart saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives in Formula One. It's really cool that we can race here in iRacing, where we don't have to worry about, you know, getting injured. I mean, you can injure yourself. I guess you could pull a muscle on your force feedback wheel if you got it turned up a little too high. But the first times are coming in. But the safety and the changes, starting with Jackie Stewart, going all the way up through what the FIA is doing today, has made it so we can actually say farewell to race drivers without having to feel good, and that is a wonderful thing. You know, we had so many great, incredible drivers leave this world due to racing incidents, and not just in Formula One, all motorsports. However, the safety has increased. The cars have become more built for the driver's safety in mind. It's just incredible. You know, I go back to this one a lot. Romain Grosjean, like him or not, I don't care if you like him, if you think he's great or not. But when he was at Bahrain a couple years ago, I think it was Bahrain, ran into the wall, car ignited, full load of fuel. It was lap one. And all I could think of was we lost another driver. It was at the Shakir Grand Prix in 2020 in Abu Dhabi. So, you know, was it Abu Dhabi? No, Bahrain. It was Bahrain. When you see something like that, when you see the ball of fire, you see the car jammed in a wall that doesn't look like there's any way for this guy to get out. And he was in this ball of fire for 3 or 4 seconds. It wasn't. And then it took him another 3 or 4 seconds to get out of the car. But he was just sitting there, and no one knew. No one could get to him. The heat was too hot. You know, the fire was just way too hot. And that kind of stuff, for a race fan, is not why we watch racing. We don't watch racing for the wrecks. We watch racing for the competition and for the intense action, strategy, and the love of motorsport. Not to lose race drivers to incidents. And when Romain Grosjean popped out of that car, my heart leapt. It was great. It was great. It was awesome that we can have incidents like that happen on the racetrack and the drivers walk away. That was awesome. And this last week, it was just a couple weeks ago, we had one of the great drivers, like him or not. Again, I'm not trying to get opinions on who you like, but a 4-time champion in Formula One is a great driver, and that's Sebastian Vettel. And he retired from Formula One at the end of the season in 2022, and he has so many aspirations to go out into the world and make the world a better place. And that is what a Formula One champion should be doing. Should be doing what he is inspired to do, not in a fiery crash, taken off to a morgue after a race. It's just these drivers are just fantastic drivers because they are fantastic people. And you may have some you don't like or some you do like. It doesn't matter. What matters is these guys are fun to watch. They're incredible drivers, and they can make a difference in the world. And once you are popular and once you have fans, you can make an influence in the world. And to have these guys carry on their legacies after they're done racing. Now, maybe he'll come back. Who knows? I mean, Sebastian Vettel's been a great racer for decades. He's been, like I said, 4-time champion. And there's other ones out there that are going to be just as good. I mean, you got so many other drivers out there in the field, in the circuit, that are out there winning races and just having a good time. So, enough about nostalgia. Enough about who's not here or here anymore. Big shout out to Jackie Stewart, though. Thank you, Jackie Stewart, for making the racing world a safer place. And hey, thanks to iRacing. Big shout out to iRacing. iRacing.com. If you want to get involved in any of these types of racing, now here on Bigg Wizurd TV, we show GT3, GT4, and Formula One. There are so many types of racing. There are probably 50 different cars you can race in, 50 different classes of cars that you can race in iRacing. If you like racing on dirt oval, they got it. If you want to race NASCAR, they got it. If you want to race IMSA with the LMDH, it's coming in like a week. If you want to run single car series like like the Mazda Miatas or anything like that, it's there. It's all there. So yeah, give it a shot. iRacing.com. It is a subscription based. It's a lot of fun. Whoa, Adam, a little wide there. Trying to keep hold of that top spot. Philip Scott gaining on him, but still not quite there yet. Ed Smith in third. Christian Bishop right there with Chris Springer. Now that's the battle to watch tonight. The 26 and the 56 are going to be the ones to watch. Now I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'll see you guys in a second. Bigg Wizurd back at you again here at Spa-Francorchamps. We're running the Formula One series from Procraft. And hey, I wanted to give a shout out to my other sponsor from Bigg Wizurd TV, Grandpa's Kitchen. Grandpa's Kitchen makes gluten-free flour and mixes, and they have recipes and a bunch of stuff. Grandpa'sKitchen.com. Go there, check them out. these guys are top notch. You know, they have some great products, and they are great people. So you can trust them. They are going to take care of you. They're going to take care of whatever you need. And hey, you can get a 10% discount using BWTV. That's Bigg Wizurd TV. BWTV is a code you can use every single time you order from them. 10% off every time. So if you know somebody suffering from celiac disease, or you know somebody that just does gluten-free because that's what they do, tell them to check out grandpaskitchen.com. I'm telling you, I've had this stuff. Wait, hi, here I am. Hi everybody, I'm back. I've had this stuff. I've had the cookies, I've had the brownies, I've had the cupcakes, I've had all kinds of stuff. And I love food. Food is my thing, man. I love food. And these guys over at Grandpa's Kitchen, they will take care of anything you want to bake. You can bake it. You can do it because they have the goods to make it work. Good stuff. All right, everybody, we're getting down to the wire. It is only 2 minutes to go in qualifying. Can Adam Novotny hold that pole position? Philip Scott, Ed Smith, 0.3 seconds behind right now. Christian Bishop hanging back with a 143.0, has not broke into the 142s yet. We'll have to see if he gets on the top of that chart. That pole position, I believe, gives you a point. He might want that. Chris Springer and Brandon Dooley, teammates, going down Kemmel Straight through Les Combs. Ooh, you can look at the tires difference. You can see the shiny tires on Brandon's car, and then the dull tires on Chris's car. Quite amazing, because as they get their laps ran, the tires wear in and the compounds change. They start out shiny. We've heard rumors. Don't know if you've heard the rumors. Let me know if you hear of any other rumors, but we've heard rumors that the W13 is coming soon, like very soon. The W13 comes out. I believe Procraft Formula 1 Series will adopt it immediately. The W13 is the 2022 Formula 1 car from Mercedes. This that we're driving tonight is the W12, which is the 2021 version of the Mercedes Formula 1 car. Mercedes AMG, sorry, forgot about that. All right. They'll be able to finish up their laps as time expires, so these guys should have one more. Don't know if they'll go all the way around. We've got 14 seconds left. Adam goes around one more time. Still on top. Brandon out front of Chris, maybe giving him a tow. There's the checkered flag. This lap will count. Maybe he's going to give Chris a tow down this straightaway. He is. He's going to give Chris a tow. See if he can get up in front. That is teamwork right there. Giving Chris the advantage. Oh, and he goes wide. That's going to negate the lap. That's it. That's it for Christian, or for Chris. So he is not going to improve from P5. Brandon in P6. Adam Novotny coming around right now. He is wide. He is done. And the only driver still on track is Theo Bishop, who is down in P12, going to finish up his lap coming through Blanchemont right now. Down to the chicane across the start-finish line. That will complete his final qualifying lap. See if he can improve. Oh, and he spins. That's an X. So that's it. That's it for qualifying. There's your order. Adam Novotny, Philip Scott, Ed Smith, Christian Bishop, Chris Springer, Brandon Dooley, Bob Wallace, Vincent Tramontana, Kelly Bishop, Todd Schwartz, and Skylar Vickery and Theo Bishop. So there is your order. We're going to go ahead and line them up on the front straight. We're going to line up the drivers right out in front of the start-finish line. They do a standing start here at Procraft Formula 1, which is how Formula 1 is done. They do not, however, they are not allowed to do a warm-up lap that they do in real Formula One. So we'll give them a minute. They have a few minutes. We've still got 45 seconds left in the timer for qualifying, but that could end any second. And then it'll switch over to race. But yeah, Adam Novotny with pole position. Philip Scott, fairly new. I think this is his third race for Philip, already up on the front row. Ed Smith, very good driver, gets up into P3. We'll see who gets a good launch. Adam has told me that he doesn't always get a good launch, and he's not all that happy about that. So he will try to do his best to get a good start and try to stay out front into La Source, which is that first hairpin. Definitely tricky corner. La Source is probably one of the, I mean, if you ask different drivers, probably one of the most difficult corners in racing. La Source. I mess it up all the time. I'm good at it. I'm good at messing up that corner. Drivers are on track. We're missing a couple. They'll pop in. They have a couple minutes to do so. Get the last setup changes done and correct. Pole sitter is on track. Christian's out there waiting for Chris to join. And then we'll see the lights go. Let's see if they give me a picture of the lights. We got a picture of the lights? I don't have a picture of the lights. Why don't we have a picture of the lights? Bad form. Bad form, cameraman. Still waiting on Chris Springer to join the field. He does not want to miss the start. Looks like Christian Bishop is going to start on the soft tires, and most everybody else is starting on the mediums. So this is the strategy call. This is the run. Chris doesn't have a lot of time left. He only gets like 4 minutes. There he is. He's on track. That'll start the counter. There's the get ready sign. As soon as the lights go green in that little yellow box you can't barely see, then we'll be off and running, but you'll be able to tell by the cars. There they go. There's the green light. The smoke comes off the tires. The little dude over there waving the flag like he's no tomorrow is doing his job as Philip Scott takes the lead down. Oh, but he goes wide, and it looks like Adam Novotny might have this off the start, and he's side by side with Christian Bishop as they go through Eau Rouge. Let's stay up front, shall we? Hello, stay up front. Come on, computer. Oh, side by side down through the Kemmel Straight. And that's a tough one. Oh, they touch just a little. Oh, Adam goes wide and spins and hits the wall. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. He's got to sit there for just a minute, wait for the car to repair, and off he goes. But, oh, that's going to hurt. That puts Christian Bishop up in the front. But who is on his tail? Who is that driver? That is Chris Springer. So the race is on. Christian running the soft compound tires. Everybody else, well, I don't know what Chris ran. Chris picked the mediums. So everybody else on the mediums. So Christian is going to have better lap times off the start, but his tires are only going to last so long. So he's going to have to try to get a huge jump to avoid the undercut or overcut from Christian when he goes to the soft tires later in the race. So we'll see how this goes. Christian out front, already gaining a 0.9 of a second lead. Saved his best for the race. Adam Novotny, disappointed, went from first to 11th on that spin coming out of Lake Holmes. Christian closing the gap, though, or Chris closing the gap. This is going to be important. After a couple laps, we'll see the DRS enable. It won't start yet, but Christian is by 0.8, 0.9. He's pulling by a second, almost a second already. Once he gets a second away, Chris will no longer have the ability to use DRS. as Vincent Tramontana goes by Philip Scott for P4 on lap 2 of the 22-lap event, Procraft Formula One Series Season 1 finale. Christian stays out front at the moment. Chris Springer keeping it close, not letting him go quite yet. Now, if he can stay close, if Chris can stay close on the early part of this stint, those tires that Christian has are only going to last him like 7 or 8 laps. So if he can stay, the trick is going to be if he can stay within DRS range by the time we get to lap 3, then he will have a chance at staying close enough to him to make that lunge at the end. But you'll see a big, huge gap as the tire compound strategy is going to make a big play in this race, because Christian's going to win the pits a lot sooner than Chris will. Right now, Christian out front has the lead. Chris Springer only 0.6 back as they dive into the chicane to finish up lap number 2. This is for the championship. I'm pretty sure if we see this run, you'll see that the driver who wins this race is probably the one that's going to win the championship. Both are able to leapfrog Morgan, so it's just between these two. All right, let's see what's going on in the field. I saw Vincent Tramontana get ahead. Now, Vincent is also on those soft tires. You can see here he is on those soft tires as well. Still no DRS yet. So he relays Combs for the 3rd time. I think at the end of this lap, DRS will enable. But he is within a second of Ed Smith, so he should be able to do that. Chris is definitely keeping it close up front. He's hoping to stay inside that DRS range next lap when that opens up as well. Vincent running the soft tires, taking advantage. And Philip Scott has dropped back. Philip Scott having issues tonight. Was up in 3rd, started in 2nd spot, and has dropped back now to 7th place. Brandon and Adam regrouping after his spin, getting back by Philip early. However, Adam 16 seconds off the lead. Can he push hard enough to get back up front? That's going to be a tough haul. But he does currently have the fastest lap of the race, so he's going to give it a go. Back up front to Christian. This is going to determine whether or not they have DRS. He looks close enough here, but he's just starting the lap. I don't think he gets it until the next corner. So he'll have to stay close around La Source here, down the hill into Radion, up into Eau Rouge, or down the hill into Eau Rouge and up the hill into Radion. Currently 9/10 of a second. He's got to stay within a second at the stripe, and the stripe is right there. It's at 1 second. I don't know if he had it. I don't know. We'll find out. He did not. Chris's wing did not open. So he was not quite close enough, but now he has gained back up. So this is going to be interesting. Can he keep those medium tires where he needs to and not burn them off too early so he can keep the lap times close until the tire change? And if the tires change, Chris should have the advantage with the softer tires. All right. So this is our 3rd place in the championship, chance to win the series tonight. Christian Bishop has won 5 races so far this season. He is out front. Chris Springer in the 56. Harry Lama Racing in 2nd spot. He's trying to stay close. He's just off of 1 second away. He's got to gain more ground to get inside that DRS zone, and Christian is starting to pull it away. Ed Smith in the 605 in 3rd spot. Ed also just outside of DRS range from Chris Springer. These guys are spreading out a little, and it looks like unless Chris can push hard here, he is not going to be close enough to get that DRS. As Christian starts to pull away. I know he's not 4 seconds ahead, but he's not We'll see. We'll see. I think he's more than a second, though. My little timers on the bottom there are freaking out. Yeah, he's definitely more than a second. It says 3 seconds. So no DRS for Chris. If he could have stayed close and gotten that DRS, then I think he could have had something there. But not to be this time around. He'll have to see if he can do it on tires and speed. Brandon Dooley up to P4. Now Brandon's got a victory this season. He knows how to get it done and knows how to run the strategy as well. Trying to stay ahead of Adam Novotny in 5th. Adam on the charge, and Adam is flying right now. Maybe he's using up too much of his stuff. Maybe he's using those tires up. We'll see. But he is within 0.6 of a second. So when they get down here to the start-finish line, Adam should be close enough to use the DRS. We don't know. We can't tell from the stands here, from the booth. I cannot tell what MGUK setting they're running. But they have attack mode, they have balance mode, they have recharge mode, and you can see that it's running because the little light on the back of the car will flash as it's charging. So Brandon's is charging, and now we see Novotny's. Adam's charging. Both of these guys on the medium compound tire. So no advantage to the car, same tire, different setup probably. But there's DRS, and that will get him close, but usually not far enough to get by at the source. What it does is it gets you close enough that you can keep that gap small enough to use it down the Kemmel Straight. And that is where it's important. So if Adam can stay within that 1 second once they hit the top of the hill here at Radiant, then when that wing opens this time, he's going to have a huge advantage. Probably about a 10-mile-an-hour gain. And just goes along the outside, staying side by side through the corner. That's where Adam lost it early. Oh! Oh, and Brandon loses control and spins and takes out Adam. They're waiting for their cars to fix, and off they go again. But that is going to drop them back in the order. Philip Scott goes by. Bob Wallace gets by. Adam, second incident in the same corner, this time not his fault. That was Brandon losing control. Let's see if I can get Replay Man to help us out with that. Here it is again. This is the replay. Adam around the outside into Lacombe. He does have position. He gets a good start there. And then Brandon just touches the grass and turns right into the side of him. Oh, that was nasty. That was rough stuff. And back to the front. So, Philip Scott back up to 4th place. Adam Novotny is going to have to regroup. Hopefully the damage, the self-healing damage, will fix him up and keep him going, but that drops him back farther than he wanted to be. Puts him off the lead by quite a bit. Christian Bishop now holding a 3-second lead over Chris Springer. And Ed Smith, a 2.5 seconds behind Chris Springer in 3rd. Philip Scott in 4th position in the number 99. Taking advantage of that incident between Brandon and Adam. Now that's important for all kinds of reasons. I mean, Brandon has to regroup. He has to gather that back up. He has to get back on track, back in his right mode, and keep running some clean laps, because the Constructors' Championship is on the line, and he needs all the points he can get tonight. Vincent right there in 8th position, right behind Brandon, probably trying to get a beat on him, only 1 second away, but Brandon is expanding that gap slightly, but not always. Bob Wallace in 666, No Fox Given Racing. Bob is currently 20 seconds off the lead. He did get by Brandon Dooley with that incident, but Bob is losing ground to Adam quickly. Kelly Bishop in the 69 car. He is with Space Sheep Racing and needs to get good points for that Constructors' Championship. Right now, Adam Novotny is holding the point without his teammate tonight, trying to get that Constructors' Championship locked in. Theo Bishop in the 36, running in P10. He's 30 seconds off the lead. Todd Schwartz right behind in the 420. A few seconds off the pace, however, still running good laps. And running clean, stayed incident free. 37 seconds off the pace, but still there. Skylar Vickery in the 12 car. Also still out on track in 12th position. Running with the soft compound tires now. Vincent started with those soft compound tires, but fell back mid pack. He's back in 8th spot, so those softs aren't really working out for him. He'll probably want to get those boots off and get some of those mediums on there for him pretty soon. We're running lap 8 of 22. When will the gap start to change up front? Christian Bishop still expanding 4 seconds now as they come across the start-finish line using those soft tires. When will he change to the mediums? When will Chris switch over to the softs? Hard to tell. If he's going to get 10 laps or more out of these softs, Christian could definitely have an advantage if Christian tries to go long on the mediums, because it looks to me like Christian has the pace to get this victory. He really wants this victory to win the championship. I think he's going to have all of that to win the championship tonight. Now the gap's starting to come down. Now maybe this is when Christian sees the gap coming down. 3.5 seconds from 4.1. Is it the part of the track that he's on, or is it actually the gap? Is Chris gaining ground? It looks like it's still that 4-second gap at times. We'll see when they come across the start-finish line. That's where we marked it last time at 4.1. So we'll see where that makes a difference. Still 4 seconds at the moment. It did close up going down the Kemmel Straight. There's nobody around Chris to give him any bonus or benefit of DRS or anything of the sort. So he's just trying to go on raw pace. And 4.1 again, the gap this time, as Christian enters into the chicane. I would say that the gap is stable, which is probably about the time that Christian would switch out the tires. If Chris starts to gain, if those tires go away, Chris starts to gain, that's all the more advantage that he has on those medium tires. We are on lap 10 of 22, 9 laps complete. Not quite halfway, and this one is going to go to the wire. 4.4 seconds the gap right now. Ed Smith in the 605, running in P3. Just 2 seconds off the back of Christian Bishop. Christian is the one that seems to me to be struggling on tires. Chris Springer seems to be the one that's struggling on tires, not Christian Bishop. So those softs are actually lasting longer. Now maybe it was the way he drove them. Maybe you can overrun the medium tires. But now our gap is 4.6, so Christian still pulling away using those soft tires, and Ed Smith seems to be coming up on him fairly consistently but we'll keep an eye on it. Philip Scott running great lap times. And Adam Novotny currently with the fastest lap of the race. Or 145.9. Not quite the 142s of qualifying, but they don't want to use up the tires in 2 laps either. And they're on mediums. So where do we go from here? Where do we go? Next week is an off week for the drivers. The week after, they're going to start season 2, the winter series. Christian's still pulling away. Chris Springer has to make the decision. He's the one in the catbird seat. He has to make the call. They just started lap 11. Who will come in? Who will come in first? Is halfway enough? To me, it looks like Christian is getting the life and the time out of those soft compound tires, and it looks to me from this angle. I'm not the strategist. I'm not in the booth with him. I'm not there in his pit crew. I would tell Chris to go in this lap, get those soft compound tires, and run him down. Fresh soft compound tires can gain 3 to 4 seconds per lap, and I think that's what he needs to do. But that's just me. I'm just sitting here in the broadcast booth. I'm not out there on the racetrack, so it doesn't, no skin off my back. Skin off my nose? What is that? I got no skin in the game. I'm just here watching, trying to see who's got the best run. I think if Christian tries the undercut and switches over to those, or Chris tries the undercut and switches over to those softs, I think he's going to gain an advantage. Unless Christian goes first, which could happen. He could dive in right now and get those mediums and run out on fresh tires again. We'll see what happens. This is the strategy call of the night right here. They're coming down to the chicane through Blanchimont now. Will one of them dive in? It is halfway. Christian? No. Chris? Yes. There he goes. Maybe he heard me. Chris goes in to get tires. That changes our order up front. Ed Smith moves into second spot in the 605. But now Christian has to make a decision. Christian is running on the medium or the soft compound tires. So he has to switch to his mediums. Does he stay on the softs? Does he try to stretch it and keep that lead going? Or when Chris comes out of the pits, is he going to have so much more momentum with those soft compound tires that he is going to be able to catch? Now, bad news for Chris. He came out behind. Oh, no, he's in front of. No, he's behind Bob Wallace. He's right behind Bob Wallace. And that is going to make it so he cannot take full advantage of those fresh soft tires. He's going to have to get around him quickly to make that work. Doesn't want to waste any time behind another driver. He's got those softer tires, but he also can take it easy on him a little bit to get him started and don't wear him out too quick. But he has to get by Bob Wallace to make this charge work at all. And the number 12, Skylar Vickery, is in pit lane. Christian coming up to the chicane. Will he go in? Will he take a dive into pit lane? No, he stays on the tires. This is the decision of the night. How will it play out? Chris Springer on the softs, fresh, clean tires on his outlap now. 0.4 of a second as they go through Blanchimont down into the chicane. Chris is going to try to go around the outside into the chicane. No, not enough room. Oh, and Bob slips and Christian pushes him. And he just goes. He's got to go. We'll have to see if that becomes a penalty later on. I think Bob started that spin on his own. Let's see if we can catch it. That, to me, looked like Bob was already in the action of spinning. Let's try to check it out. Replay man, what do you got for me? Let's see if we can get a good angle on this. They're side by side entering the chicane. Oh, that looked like a hit. That looked like a hit. That might be a 5-second penalty. Hard to tell. Hard to tell from this angle. But what I can tell you is that Christian has not yet come into the pits. He is still out there on those soft compound tires. Christian out in the front of this race. Philip Scott has gotten by for P2. Ed Smith has gone in the pit lane, changed his tires. He is out and in front of the 56. That is going to hurt. Christian stays out on the soft tires. He's staying out as long as he can. He's on lap 14 of 22 now. He's completed 13 laps already on these soft compound tires. Can they go any longer? Where is the gap? And can he make it up? 27 seconds is the gap. 23 seconds is a pit stop. Wow, this is crazy. We'll have to see when he comes in. I predict he's going to have to come in the next couple of laps and get those medium compound tires on, but Chris has had all kinds of trouble coming out of the pit lane in the wrong spot as we see Brandon Dooley go into the pit lane for his tire change. Christian Bishop still out front, 12-second lead over Philip Scott, and then those that pit: Ed Smith, Chris Springer, 26 seconds. Can Chris get around Ed Smith? He has had challenge after challenge as he came out of the pit lane. He had to try to get around Bob and tagged him. It looked to me like he tagged him. We'll have to wait. Race control after the race will decide how that plays out and give him a penalty or how that works. Didn't look like it was anywhere near intentional. Just barely touched the back of the car. And that was from my perspective, not some overly aggressive replay artist. I was just doing a quick replay. So once again, Ron here with Bigg Wizurd TV. We're great to have you on board. Appreciate you guys watching tonight. You can give me a shout out here on the chat if you want. I'll read it. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what's going on. If you have a question, shout it out there. I'll see what I can find. But we've got Christian Bishop out in the front. He's still running on the original soft compound tires. He's running 146.8 per lap with those soft compound tires. Chris Springer in fourth position, 26 seconds back, not gaining at all. And he is also running very close to those same times, although he did just get the fastest lap of the race. Stole that away from Adam Novotny. Christian and Philip have not yet pit. They do not need to pit for fuel. Fuel is in the car, ready to go all the way to the end. The tires is what they need. If Christian makes no mistakes, he's currently still holding on to that 26-second lead ahead of Chris Springer. If he can hold that lead and keep it where it is, then when he goes in and out of the pits, he will have about a 3-second advantage when he comes out. We'll have to watch to see when he does it. And again, after race ruling on Chris's contact with Bob Wallace. We'll see how that rolls out. But I can tell you this, if Christian wins this race, he has the best chance of anyone to win the championship. That's what he's going for. And there he goes into the pit lane. He's coming in to get those tires. We'll keep an eye on Chris as he's coming down through Blanchimont right now. Can he gain enough time to take the lead? Will Ed Smith be the spoiler as he is currently out front? Here he comes through the chicane now. Can he get out in front of Christian? Christian is moving. He's got those tires on. Chris around the corner. Christian has done the overcut. Whatever it is he cut, he worked. It worked. Christian Bishop out front. He did have Philip Scott go by. Philip has not yet made his pit stop. That is required, and he will have to do that before the end of the race. But Christian Bishop is out in front, and he is not just by a little. He has a 3-second lead over Ed and a 6.97-second lead over Chris Springer. He has fresh medium tires on the car, and Ed Smith has just taken the fastest lap of the race. "15 of the 22 laps." That's what Christian ran on those medium tires soft tires off the start. Will it be enough? Can he hold them off? Chris with his soft compound tires, Ed with his soft compound tires, both trying to gain, but from what I see, Christian still pulling away, no one gaining ground at all. There are only 7 laps to go in this race. 6 laps this time by. Currently, Philip Scott out in the front, has not yet pit to change tires. He's running on the medium compounds. He likes the harder compound tires, but there he goes into the pit lane. End of lap 16. Takes out the cone for good measure. Christian Bishop goes by, retakes the lead. Ed Smith 3 seconds back. Chris Springer now 8 seconds off the pace. I just do not see these guys with the soft compound tires are going to be able to catch him. They tried everything they could, but I think the incident with Chris and Bob kind of messed up Chris's chances, but that was Chris's fault, so no fault to Bob there. He was just racing, doing his thing. But I think that was what he had to do. He had to get around Bob and make that charge, and was not able to do it. So it comes down to this. It comes down to this. Through Rivage. Around Pujon. And 5. Are we back? All right, we're back. No, we're not. Come on, YouTube. Help me out, buddy. Okay. I think we're back. Sorry about that. Apparently, I did not fix my problem. Gonna have to work on that. OBS might be done for Bigg Wizurd TV. I cannot have OBS doing that. It's continually causing problems for me. So if you know any other formats out there to do this streaming on, let me know, because I might need to change, because this one is no longer working. I shouldn't have to stop the broadcast with three laps to go. But hey, we're back. We're live. We're running. The order has not changed. Christian Bishop still pulling out that lead. Ed Smith 3.7. Chris Springer in third with 9.1 seconds the gap. Everybody has come in. All pit stops have been made. This is the final run. And Christian Bishop looks like he has this one in the bag. It's going to be 3 to go as he comes across the line through the chicane this time. And 3 to go as he crosses the line right now. Lap 19 of 22. Riding on board with the leader. Let's go through the field. Ed Smith in second spot. Only 3 seconds back, trying his best to get up there, but those tires are gone. The softs have worn out, and he has no more go-go juice, or no more go-go in that car, as Christian is starting to pull away. Chris Springer also with the same issue. He went to the softs early, trying to gain the ground, could not gain the ground. Christian ran nearly the same exact times on the mediums as he did on the softs. Ran long, ran great laps, and looks like he has this one in the bag. We'll see how it turns out. Adam Novotny, not, if you spoke to Adam at the beginning of the race and said, Adam, you're going to spin twice in Lacombs, and what do you think if you finished fourth? And I think he would be pretty pleased knowing that he spun twice if he could get a top 5 out of this race. But it might be a top 5 and not a top 4, because Philip Scott has just gone in and gotten his tires. He is now on the soft tires. He has just ran the fastest lap of the race, 145.1, and he is gaining on Adam Novotny. Only 2.5 seconds that gap, but only 2 laps to go this time by as they come through. Where the heck are they? They're coming through Paul Fier and headed down towards Blanchimont. Sorry about the hiccup there, everybody. I really do not understand why this is happening, so I'm going to have to rebuild the old PC again. Probably have to start from scratch this time. But we'll get it fixed. Philip crosses the line in P5. 2 seconds the gap now to Adam Novotny. Can he catch him? Can he gain at that spot for P4? It's not going to change anything for Philip because he's not really in the points at all. He's only been around for a couple of races. But Adam really needs that spot, as many points as he can get, to hold on to the Constructors' Championship lead without his teammate present tonight. Christian out front. Ed Smith chasing. Chris Springer hanging on. Adam Novotny in 4th. And you can see right behind him Philip Scott in 5th. Brandon Dooley in P4 and P5, P6. So remember where you are. Remember where you are. P6. Vincent Tramontano running in P7, and he's got Bob Wallace all over the back of him. Now Bob is in DRS range. This position can still change here. We've got 2 laps to go this time by, and they are right on top of each other. Now he might have gained on that one. Bob did pit on lap 24, Vincent on lap 23. Vincent went to the mediums, Bob went to the softs. Can Bob take advantage of those soft compound tires and gain some ground? Now I think what we're seeing up front is Chris is losing traction and losing ground. Adam Novotny and Philip Scott are chasing him down. That has huge championship implementation, huge championship consequences, because implications, there we go, there's the right word, because he needs all the points he can get to stay up in front and try to get that win. I don't think he can get it at this point unless he gets second place back, and he is not gaining. Here's DRS open for Vincent Tramontana, for Bob Wallace on Vincent Tramontana. Now they're coming down through the source. They'll go down through Radion, up through, or down through Eau Rouge and up through Radion, and Bob will have DRS again. And I don't think there's anything that Vincent can do to keep him back there. Bob may have wanted to stay in the draft a little longer, because Vincent looks like he knows how to use an MGUK and did so very well on that lap with just 2 to go as our leader. Oh, and Vincent hits the wall. Oh, tough break for Vincent right there. Trying to catch, or trying to stay out in front of Bob Wallace. That gives Bob P7. Trying to make up for the spin he had earlier, trying to gain some ground. As we watch Christian come across to get the white flag. This is it, last lap. Bernie just going nuts over there in the corner with his little white flag. And Christian is all happy, all smiles because of that. 5 seconds to lead, 1 lap to go. Tires are fresh, medium compound, pulling away. And this should be the championship right here. He should have all he needs to get it. Especially with Chris back in 3rd and not in 2nd position, because that knocks another 3 points off the tally. He only gets 27 for P3, not 30. And Adam Novotny and Philip Scott would love to tell Chris that they want that spot. Adam is going to want all those points for his championship run in the Constructors' Championship. We'll have to wait until later in the week. I don't have live scoring, so I don't know what the championship will be. We'll have to wait for later in the week. Check out twoleagues.com. Twoleagues.com is the race radio as Adam Novotny goes by for P3. Adam Novotny taking the podium spot away from Chris Springer. That is going to change the championship. I believe that makes Chris into third position for the championship by my calculations. Great pass there by Adam Novotny for P3 on the final lap. Christian Bishop coming to the flag, down through Blanchimont, into the chicane for the final time. Here he goes around the chicane last time around. Easy on the gas across the start-finish line. And there is the victory. Christian Bishop with the win. Most likely the championship as well. Congratulations to Christian. That was an incredible run. He stayed out front regardless of what tires he had on there. We have Ed Smith coming in second, and third on the podium is Adam Novotny. Chris Springer, I think he crossed the line first, but definitely had an issue. I don't know where. Oh, P5 Philip Scott already left the already left the circuit. Was there an incident there? Replay man, what do you got? Here's Chris Springer going down through the chicane. Gets close there, but no incident there. Oh, Philip Scott was going for the win. Was going for the lead there, and Philip Scott dropped before the start-finish line. He spun trying to get by. Chris Springer right at the line for P5, for P4. But I think he still went across the start-finish line, finished the race before he dropped out of the race. What a race, what a championship. Wow, this has been great. Let's see if we can catch somebody in the broadcast booth. They got to get back around to the start-finish line part. They have a little photo op that they do. Hopefully the top three will remember. Ed should, since he's in the same chat room as Christian. And Christian goes right past the start-finish line and does not stop for the photo shoot. So that's going to be tough to do. Let's go see what's going on in the broadcast area. See if we can get these guys on the radio. Guess I can't move him. Can I move you?
Hey, you move.
Okay, I can move you. I thought I was moving you down the waiting room, and then you weren't there.
Yeah, I moved.
Christian, wow, what a run, man. What a run. Great race tonight. I know the 33 points get you ahead. I don't know however many points other than that there are, but you only needed 31. I think that gets you the championship, but man, flag to flag, didn't care about tires. You had everything running for you tonight. No one was going to stop you on this one.
Yeah, I noticed in the practice that the softs kind of just last forever. So I planned to, if I qualified up front, run the mediums first and a few laps and then get on the softs early. But since I qualified so far back, I decided to go with the softs first to have a better start, and it worked out really well. And then I was able to just kind of run them until I felt like they dropped off to a certain point, and then kind of go to the mediums for as little time as I could possibly use them.
Nice. Well, it worked out. It worked out really well because you managed to dodge a couple bullets at the beginning. You got past Chris early on, and then it was just no tomorrow after that. I thought if he could keep with you on his mediums using DRS, but you got him by lap 3. He couldn't stay with you. So
yeah, I was kind of surprised to find out he was on mediums because
he was hauling.
He was hauling with those mediums.
But I think he wore him out, and he went in early because he needed to do the undercut, and it didn't work. So, but yeah, great strategy, great race, great win. Nice job, man. Thanks for putting on a great show.
Hey, thanks for broadcasting our show.
You bet. There was a glitch on lap 18, but I think I got it fixed pretty quick. I've been having problems with my streaming software with OBS. I don't know what it is, but it keeps locking up on me, and none too happy, I'll have to say. So,
I have little glitches here and there when I'm in Sim 2. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's related to iRacing.
Yeah, it could be. I'll have to check some more settings. But well, great run tonight. I'm going to try to catch Chris and see if I can talk to him.
Yeah.
Looks like Ed has said he's out.
Yeah, Ed can't. He's packing to leave for Lemon's race, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, that should be fun. Packing. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming by. We'll see you on the next season.
Yeah, thanks
can't wait to see the points. Everybody out there in TV land, check out 2leagues.com. Formula One series will tell you the points championship here should be coming up in the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm excited to get it out, so it might be even today.
There was an incident after the pit stop with Chris. You'll have to watch and see. Bob went around. I don't know if it was from a touch or if it was just Bob going around, but it was at the chicane exit. It was pretty interesting.
Chris said something about it in the race chat. He apologized to Bob. So I guess
it was really close. It was super close and definitely not intentional.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I thought that was a mostly pretty clean race. Although it's pretty easy at Spa where there's so much damn space.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll go up and talk to the guys here in Rust Belt and see if I can get them on the horn.
Awesome. Well, thanks for calling the races, man.
You bet. You bet. We'll be here next season.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, later.
It's a racing incident.
Hey, guys. Ron
What's up, Ron?
What's going on?
What's happening?
They're on.
Oh, man, that was crazy, huh? I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, Adam, if somebody would have told you, Adam, let me tell you this. You're going to spin 2 times in Lacombs, and you're going to come in 3rd.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Oh, that first time you were on the outside, I thought you were clean. You caught the grass and spun, and then Brandon, you look like a duplicate of Adam when you went around and touched the grass.
Yeah, we were super clean. I was making sure I was giving him space. I was looking left in my left monitor just to make sure I gave him enough room and touched the grass.
Yep. Yeah, I did the replay on it. It was unfortunate, and Adam, you were so fast, you managed to recover. I think with Christian winning the race and Chris falling back with the tire wear late in that one, I think Christian might have the championship.
Yeah, I think he does.
I think he needed 31 points and he got at least 33. So
I don't know how he couldn't have winning 5 races.
Right. I mean, he should have. He won 6 total now out of the 12. So yes, definitely should have.
I looked in my mirror going up the hill on the last lap and got a slowdown. So that's why Adam got around me. So mad at myself.
You were there, and the gap was like 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden I look, and Adam's right next to you, and I'm like, "What happened?"
Yeah, then I was out of battery.
Yeah, I think the tires was a big factor tonight. You know, the strategy really played a factor in the race. You were on the mediums, and for some reason, his softs were not falling off. So, you know, when you went to the softs, if you would have gotten out of the pits in front of Bob, you may have had a chance. But being that you were behind him and you had to get by him right after you get out of the pit lane, used up your tires, I think that burned you. So, honestly.
Yeah, and then I turned him too, and I was like, well, it's probably going to be a penalty. And I just.
I wasn't going to bring that up, you know. But yeah. Yeah, we saw that. It looked really close. It looked like you probably did touch him just a little bit.
Barely, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did.
But he
The
was.
last thing I wanted to do is, I was trying to get around him and trying to get an advantage through that pit deal, but that just all threw it away. And
waiting
done.
until Blanchimont probably would have been a better, or not Blanchimont, but Eau Rouge, Radion probably would have been a better strategy up the Kemmel Straight. But as we saw plenty of times tonight, that didn't always work. If people had their battery programmed correctly, they could hold people off even down the Kemmel Straight. So that was, I think it was you and Philip on the last lap. No, it was somebody. I was watching somebody and they couldn't. I think it was Bob, but Bob was saying he couldn't get DRS to open, so that's why he couldn't pass. He had something wrong with his brake
DRS open, but he had 1% of brake running the entire time. He just posted a picture of his pedal calibration, the brakes on.
Yeah, that helps slow you down a little bit. Well, it was a great race. Thanks, guys, for putting on a great show. Hopefully the replay will get some views and get some people out there. We'll be fired up for next season.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron.
So, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ron.
Have a good night, all.
Yep, talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Well, there you have it. That is the winning. That is most likely the championship. Everybody pretty much feels that that will be Christian Bishop's championship to have. This race is over. Christian Bishop with the win. Ed Smith, Adam Novotny share the podium with him. Chris Springer, Philip Scott, Brandon Dooley, Bob Wallace, Vincent Tramontana, Kelly Bishop in P9, Todd Schwartz P10, Theo Bishop, and Skylar Vickery round out the field. It's been great having you here. I'll keep working on my OBS and try to figure out what in the world's going on. But hopefully it didn't cause too much of a glitch tonight. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, do not race on the road. Race on a track. If you don't have a track or can't afford a track like me, I don't have either. Can't afford it and don't have one. Race in iRacing. It's a lot of fun. iRacing.com. We'll see you out here next time. Be safe out there. Get home safe. And next season, Season 2, Procraft Formula 1 Series coming up in 2 weeks. Good night, all.